What's up, everybody? It's Stogs and Trey Collis. And this week on Cowboys Cutting Up, we're going to be talking about the great win that the Cincinnati Bengals had. Of course, that the Cowboys had over the Cincinnati Bengals. Let's get it straight. And we couldn't find any New York Giants fans because apparently they don't exist. You are watching Cowboys Cutting Up. Hey, let's go. What's up, everybody? Again, welcome to Cowboys Cutting Up. I'm Jay Stoggs. That is Trey Collis, host of Hill Country. I'm gonna keep saying that. Hill Country
Just say
Sports.
sideline
Like
reporter for the Cowboys by the Antlers. Just say that.
There you go. Sideline reporters for the Antlers. Make sure you check them out. Make sure you check them out. On that, of course, I'm on Big Game Sports Buzz, and that's where you're checking us out. Make sure that you subscribe, like, smash that bell. We are getting up there, folks. We're at over 900 subscribers. We're pushing for 1,000. That's the magic number. Tell a friend, because at that point we can start really doing more things and doing some greater things and bigger things. So we're just so appreciative of everyone that's been tuning in. Of course, all of you Cowboys haters, thank you so much. You make us great, and that's what makes this America's team. Because we should call us the world's team, right? We're the world's team because we are the number one franchise in the world. I'm calling it here Dallas Cowboys world's team. We're the world's team. So anyway, listen, Trey, how excited? How was your Monday? Let's just talk. How was your Monday?
It was good. It was good until I started watching the national freaking radio host and TV shows and all this bull crap. They didn't give it like Dallas. Like they said, oh, it's all the Bengals' fault. Oh, it's all this. It's what's wrong with the Bengals.
Right.
I'm like, no, give the Dallas Cowboys credit. They got that win. It was good. It was good. Like usually, I don't listen to sports radio if the Cowboys lose the following day.
Right.
But it was good, man.
Yeah,
it makes your week a lot better when the Cowboys win.
It is. And of course, they start chiming in. I know this is Big Game. What's up, my guy? What is this? Nobody's silent. The Bengals are just as bad as the Cowboys. Are they? They just came off of a Super Bowl.
Bad now. They're everyone's favorite to come out of the AFC. Everyone picks them in the top three teams in the AFC. Joe Burrow's the next coming of Tom Brady. Jamar Chase, no one can stop him. I know, whatever. I'm sick of but the Eagles have one good game, and oh my God, they're Super Bowl favorites. Oh my God. Whatever, we'll talk about that a little bit later. But go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. No. And like I said, it's something. It is something about your team when your team wins, and especially the way they won. Okay, you can still say they suck, but here's the deal. Okay, they had a backup quarterback in Cooper Rush come in, and look, that first quarter, it was magic. It was magic. It was like a different team, a team that was inspired. Okay, it was a team that was inspired. I don't know what it was. It just looked like a whole different team. And we're going to talk about that a little bit later about Cooper Rush, Dak Prescott, and the playbook and how it looks different. But it is something about a Cowboys Monday win, right? When the Cowboys win on Sunday, the day is so much better. I don't have text like I usually do. No one calls me.
Yeah, my phone was silent. Like I was like,
very silent. Facebook was quiet. Didn't hear it. Like it was just really, really, really quiet out there. So it was nice. It was nice, pleasant Monday. And Tuesday just kind of rolled into it. But yeah, to that point, it's still don't trust them. Still don't trust them. There's still this. There's still that. You know, I have to see. Look,
I'm sorry. Can I hit on this for a second, please? Can I hit on
go
this?
ahead.
Did anybody with an eye watch that Monday night game? Did anybody watch that game? Me and Jay could have thrown to these wide receivers that Jalen Hurts was throwing to.
Yes.
Are you freaking kidding me?
Yes.
2 deep safety, these little Deacon Duncan all over the place. Like they were so freaking wide open. But they're saying, oh, they look really good. No, they look good for one quarter. They only scored 3 points in the second half. Minnesota had their chance if Kirk Cousins was in primetime Kirk Cousins and the second coming of the crappiest primetime player in the world.
It's like Kirk Kane.
Eagles had 2 turnovers in that second half. Caught him in the red zone.
Yeah.
What does Kirk Cousins do? Throw an interception. So don't say the Eagles are these world beaters or whatever. Shut the heck up. It's one game. I love this overreaction. One game. You got to remember, this is a new offense for the Eagles too. Once the season, let's see how they do. I know they have an easy schedule, but we're going to get tape on Jalen Hurts. He's not a pocket passer. Dallas Cowboys, one thing they're really good at in that pass rush with Micah Parsons and everything is containing their lanes with Dan Quinn. I'm telling you, that's not in the Trayvon Diggs the way he's playing. Wilson, the way he's playing. I like the Cowboys defense against that offense any day of the week. I could be wrong. I do like it. But anyway, that's 3 weeks from now. I'm not getting into that. We're talking about the Bengals. Go ahead. Sorry.
Well, Well, I think it also plays into that defense. And I said this at the beginning of the season, and people laughed at me when I said this is a top 5 defense. Oh, whatever. There's no way. They are a top 5 defense. Yes, they give up yards in the back with Diggs, but Diggs showed last week that he can recover and he can defense. And though he may not get the interception, he's still going to defense. You still have Michael Parsons is still the best player on the field, or the second best every time. I don't see anyone that's better than him in these past 2 games that's better than him on the field. I believe he's actually going to win Defensive Player of the Year this year.
Michael Parsons?
I think he will win. Yes, Michael Parsons will win Defensive Player of the Year.
He's on pace for 34 sacks.
Which is crazy. That's crazy. and he's not like, he moves around. So he's not a dedicated rusher.
No, you don't know where he's
when you start. Yeah, so when you think of that, Armstrong had a great game. And yes, it is the Bengals offensive line. I get that. But you play who's in front of you, right? They're talking about, Lyle Collins, we should sign him back. No, that game showed you. It showed you. Why? Yeah, sometimes it's okay. Let them go. So that defense, to me, again, that's a top 5 defense. That's a top 5 defense.
I wouldn't go. I have to see more. Like I just because the what's the word I'm looking for? Just the past that the Cowboys had. Like they've seen flashes before, and then all of a sudden they have a crappy couple weeks. You know what I mean? Like it's not consistently, but you saw improvements each week last year. And then the first, like you hold Tom Brady and Joe Burrow, who set all these kinds of to 1 touchdown apiece.
Yeah.
And the only reason Joe Burrow got that 1 touchdown is because the defense was freaking tired because the Cowboys decided to go 3-and-out for 3 straight series. But whatever the case may be,
right?
Everyone's going to be tired. But
sure,
going back to that Trayvon Diggs thing, dude, Trayvon Diggs played a hell of a game. He didn't let anyone behind him.
He did.
He held Jamar Chase for 14 yards. 14 yards. I'm just saying, Trayvon Diggs has come a long way. Dan Quinn's a godsend. Thank God he didn't want to go get a head coaching job somewhere because Michael Parsons, he stays healthy. Whoo! And man. And then we can't talk about Wilson. Wilson, the safety. Dude, he was coming in making tackles. And the Cowboys were actually tackling and making tackles instead of arm tackling. When's the last time you can say that about Dallas Cowboy defense? Trayvon Diggs came in the game.
Yes. Yes, he did. And that's so that's why looking at the end of the year, the conversations that have been had, and then seeing what they were doing and what Dan Quinn said and why he came back. He said one of the reasons because he wanted the Denver job. That was the only job he wanted.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only job he wanted was a Denver job. And they said, you know what? We've gone with defensive coaches, the past 2 or 3 iterations. We want an offensive guy. And because they wanted an offensive guy, Quinn was out. And so he said, well, look, this is the most exciting team that I've been a part of. And he's building the team from jump. So, yeah, once McCarthy is gone after this season, he steps in. You get a great OC, good young OC that knows the game and knows how to adjust. Absolutely. It did get scary in this game because first half, first quarter, gangbusters. And then all of a sudden it got tight, like real tight, like Nat booty. You know what I'm saying? Just like they got really, really ultra conservative. What's up, Joe? My guy. Good to see you, Dolphins. Look, man, this is a Cowboy show. But I do have to shout out Tua.
Oh,
hot dog.
God. Are you freaking kidding
Hot
me?
dog. Hot dog. I had him on the bench in my fantasy. Won't do that again. And I have Russ. But we're talking Cowboys here. But I'm glad you're here, Joe. Glad you're here. They scared me, though. Did you get – I mean, when it got 17-17, you got a little – because they kept kicking field goals, and we didn't get any offense going there.
It scared me when Schultz fumbled. That's when, because we were driving. We were driving, and we're almost in the red zone, and Schultz makes that. I was like, all right, we just get a score here. It's pretty much over.
Yeah.
And when he fumbled, and then Joe Burrow, they got that 17-17, and then we went 3 and out. I was like, crap. And then our punter had punted great and knocked him down close to their goal line. And then Trayvon Diggs, 3rd and short, I'm like, oh, it was an easy first down, crossing routes, whatever the case may be. But, hey, Trayvon Diggs came down, made a great tackle, just perfectly played tackle. And then I was like, all right, Cooper, let's see what you have. And sure enough, but see, what scared me, it wasn't all that. It was the way Mike McCarthy managed that last drive. We still had a timeout. And we used our last timeout with 27 seconds left. When I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Just go up there and spike it. Even Tony Romo was like, just spike it. But no, we use it right there. And then we run a run play to the sideline. We don't even get out of bounds. And so I'm like, oh, crap, here we go again. We got to settle for a 50-yard field goal again for Brett Mahar.
Oh, yeah.
But Brett Mahar, man, I'll tell you what, 2 players that have constantly who shut a lot of people up, who said, why are we signing these people or why are we starting them? Tyler Smith, you have not heard, didn't have one penalty, didn't give up a sack, and Brett Maher.
Yes.
Brett Maher is perfect for the Dallas Cowboys this year.
It was a crazy moment. What's up, fam? Good to see you. Glad you landed out. She came to see the game start. Status Cowboys connection. It was so great to see them. Man, they throw a party out here. It is for real. Check them out. If you have never heard of them, that's them. That's the people. But dude, it was crazy because it didn't make sense. And this has been the knock on McCarthy is his time management and game management and clock management skills and lack thereof. It's like you have people that you've hired to do this, but yet we still can't get this together 3 years later.
It's mind-boggling to me. It's just so like we're settling for 50-yard field goals. Maybe Maher, he kicks better from 50 than short range. I guess I don't know because I don't know, but I had to watch like 5 different replays. I was like, I still didn't think he made that field goal. I thought it was far. I thought it went to the right. I was like, oh man. Yeah. And then they went good. I'm like, okay, I'm not questioning it. Let's go.
Oh no, not at all. But I'll tell you this, man. And shout out again to my cousin, to my fam Marva. She's like, yo, have faith, because I was ready. I was ready to go ahead and put him down and say, 0-2, but she said, no, you got to have faith. And she was right. And the thing is that, as we start to move forward, to me, it seemed as though the playbook opened up a little bit more for Cooper Rush than it was for Dak Prescott.
See, I don't know if that's the case. I don't know if that's the case. It felt like to me, Cooper Rush doesn't get like like nothing's too big for him. Like he actually reads the progressions. He doesn't try to. That's what Dak Prescott, and this is what Steve Young said. I don't know if you heard what Steve Young had to say about Dak Prescott. He basically said that he has to learn from Cooper Rush. He's kind of said it wrong, but I kind of agree with him on this. Because he said when Steve Young got hurt, he had to watch his backup quarterback, and it made him realize, you know what? If I just need to trust the process and trust what, instead of pressing so much, instead of trying to make and just make it and trying to do too much. Like Dak Prescott, I think in his head right now, he's making $40 million a year, and he's hearing the noise, right? He's hearing like, oh, you're not this, you're not that, you're not that. But at the same time, look what and the Cowboys coaching staff did an excellent job. I wish they would do this more with Dak Prescott, but I don't know why they don't. But how many trick plays did you see in that game?
Zero.
And they gave Tony Pollard the ball in the backfield at a perfectly good. And look what happened. Zeke ran it efficiently, very well, and then Cooper Rush is reading the progressions. That's one thing I do. We gotta start giving Cooper we gotta stop doubting Cooper Rush. This guy's 2-0. The lights aren't too big. He's won on the road and he's won at home. The lights are not too big for this guy.
Yeah, and there were big needed games. It wasn't like, they're just whatever. And it's sad to say it's a needed game because it's the second game of the season.
Yeah, but team has 0-2, you don't go to the playoffs.
Yeah, and then you have divisional games that are coming right up, right? So, of course, as we, transition into, now we have the Giants coming up, we've got to make sure that Rush, and here's the other thing that we've talked about before is playing in the preseason. Cooper Rush has been playing in the preseason. Cooper Rush has been playing with Brown and Wilson and these guys, and so it's like, okay, well, he knows them because he's been throwing to them. So he knows their tendencies. He knows how they run routes. He knows how to play with them. Whereas Dak has not. And it's not a knock on him, but it is that thing of camaraderie and knowing, hey, I know how to play with this guy. But I will have to say this. Rush threw the ball down the field. And we don't see that a lot. We don't see that a lot when Dak is there. And again, that goes back to my question of, is the play calling / playbook different when we have Cooper Rush in there as opposed to Dak? Jerry always needs to keep quiet, Marvin, all the time.
Well, he always needs to be quiet. But no, see, here's the thing. I don't think it's different. I seriously don't. I think Dak checks out of a lot of plays where Cooper Rush just goes with what the play's called. That's what I'm starting to think is happening here. Like, you didn't see a lot of checkouts from Cooper Rush. Dak Prescott, every time he's like, dude. I'm like, dude, like he's pressing too hard. Like, I'm going, he's like pressing way too hard to be that stud quarterback. And dude, just do what made you great. Hand the ball off to your great running backs in the backfield, or one and Tony Pollard and Zeke Elliott, who can get you 1 or 2 yards whenever. But Zeke's running the ball well right now. I don't know why we stopped running the ball, but I don't get it. But I think that Dak's checking out of a lot of stuff, and he's not reading the defense very well, right? I think that goes down to pressure. Like, I got to do this, I got to do that, I got to do that, instead of trusting other players. I mean, Noah Brown's the second coming of a great wide receiver. I think he's our number 3 wide receiver right now. I saw flashes last year. I saw he runs great routes. CeeDee Lamb caught every ball that was almost thrown to him. He did a good job. But I just think that's
and they put him in the slot.
Yes.
And they put him in the slot this week instead of having him out there at the Y, at the X position. So, I mean, again, to me, this just goes back to this guy, great receiver, not a 1. He's like a 1A. And so
I still think it's too early. I still think it's too early. I do. First year was a COVID year. Dak was pretty much hurt all year. Second year, you had you saw the brilliance in his game. His only knock was now this year. It's like, okay, then Dak Prescott goes down. Then I think CeeDee Lamb's trying too hard, and I think that the wide receiver coaches are not putting him in the position to. I mean, I think I'm not saying that he won't be a number. I don't think. I'm just saying, let's just let it play out. Like, we're too rushed to judgment on everything. Just like the freaking Eagles winning 24-7. Now they're Super Bowl champions. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, let's hold the brakes. Let's just wait this whole season, then we can make our judgment after probably 10 weeks. But as right now, you're right.
10 weeks
to see if he can hold the number one receiver. Yes, because let's get this. You're getting a weapon back. You're getting Michael Gallup back. Breaking news. You're getting him back probably Monday night. You need a couple
probably, yeah.
You have Noah Brown. We saw what Noah Brown can do. It's going to take pressure off of CeeDee Lamb, and CeeDee Lamb's going to have to. I mean, he's going to.
But shouldn't
you be one-on-one? He's gonna. I'm telling you, just give it a couple weeks and see how this receiving core really is before we do judgment.
But if you're a one, should it matter?
There's a lot of ones who get DK Met with Russell Wilson. DK Metcalf didn't have good. Like, he only had a couple he had a bad game. He didn't really blow everyone off. I can name you a lot of ones when you're the only good wide receiver.
DK Metcalf.
Someone else is going to have to beat you. Someone else is going to have to beat you, and that's what the DK Metcalf. Yes, he's a stud. Yes, but there's a lot of times because I had DK Metcalf on my fantasy league, and there was like 6 games he didn't give me jack shoot at all. So I'm just saying that it's one bad game. He looked better this week. Let's see what in the following weeks and his confidence level goes up. I'm telling you, just give it time. I'm not saying he's going to be the best number one in the world. I'm just saying he can be a number one, but it also helps whether you have a good quarterback throwing to you or not. But whatever, that's another piece.
Let me ask this question then. Number one receiver, let's say at the end of the season, what should his stat lines be? What should his stats be? Or should we even judge it by that? Should we judge a number one receiver by the stat? And again, comment for you out there. What should a number one receiver stats be?
I think it should be about like how your offense is ran, right? Like the San Francisco 49ers, more heavy run, whatever this stuff may be. It just depends on you. But if you're number one, like what CeeDee Lamb should be, I think I said at the beginning of the year, I think you should have like 1,200 yards, at least 8 touchdowns.
Okay. And I mean, I think we can constitute this as a pass-heavy offense, or at least it has shown as a pass-heavy offense.
50-50. They were
50-50?
They were Sunday. They were 50-50. Oh. And they win. No, but you're right.
They had Cooper Rush.
Cooper Rush is a stud. You shut your mouth.
It's because they didn't trust Cooper Rush. And to your point, they actually ran the play. And maybe it's the fact that Cooper Rush has been around for a while, right? And said, look, I do trust this. I see what I see.
Well, also, I didn't realize this either. Cooper Rush is on a 1-year contract, so he's playing for job security. He's playing, so he's going to be balling out. So I was like, I didn't know that going in. I totally forgot about that. I was like, ooh, we might actually have a diamond in the rough here.
But but I'm going to move away from that because I think even if you get the big contract, there's a lot of pressure to perform.
As Zeke, he got the big contract
because now Zeke was hurt, and that offensive line was straight trash. And I will defend that to the end of the day. I don't care. No one could run behind that line.
Zeke?
No one could run. No one could run behind that line. Come on.
Zeke Elliott?
Zeke was hurt. Yeah, Ezekiel Elliott, Ohio State.
Okay, about the year he got his contract. The year he got his contract, that offensive line was not bad.
Oh, come.
2018, when they went and lost to the Rams in the divisional round.
It wasn't bad that year.
Each year, his yards have gone down.
Nah.
Yes.
Dude, do you remember when Terrence Steele gave up 8 sacks in a game? Like, that's the line he was running behind.
That was
against Atlanta.
No, because he was suspended for half the year that year.
Oh my God, bro. That line was horrible. Now to your point, Smith has been good. He's been good. He's been a very refreshing, right? Like surprise because he's a rookie and he came in with the red flags on him already, but he has stepped up. And you know what the deal is to me is that he's actually playing his natural position. So when you put him at guard, I know it's
it's
what a
not
thought.
hard, the concept here, people. It's really
Well,
not.
you know,
Well,
let them
from my
play how they're
opinion,
supposed to.
well,
Let them play
what?
how they're
Well,
supposed to.
go
Yeah.
ahead. I'm sorry, I hate interrupting you. Go ahead.
No, no. That's why I have you here, Trey. But no, it's when you have people playing the position that they do, they will do great. When you put them out, then they won't. I mean, I don't know what you expected. So maybe McGovern's injury, and I don't want anybody to get injured, but maybe that's something that will, be a blessing for him to be able to stick there. You got Peters, old man Peters, whenever he's ready to come back. I don't know. Is he coming back this game or next?
I don't know. I haven't heard anything. I don't know. I don't
I
understand
haven't
why he
either.
wouldn't be coming back this week because it'd be a perfect time for him to come back. Maybe he's waiting for that
Mm-hmm.
Eagle game. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know.
Which is
I
fine. I think it's fine. I think with this coming up Eagles game, I'm sorry, Giants game. And I think that's the other part is that we're just looking past the Giants because
you shouldn't.
it's the Giants.
You shouldn't.
No, you shouldn't. But if you stop Saquon, I believe you stop the team.
Oh yeah, because Danny Dimes ain't beating you. Plus, Danny Dimes is 0-6.
They don't have anything else. Look at Trey with the stats. I love it. But I do. I think, and that's why we couldn't find any New York Giants fans like, hey, aren't you a New York Giants fan? Like, no, I stopped watching. I stopped watching football. No, I watch baseball now. Really? Okay. So it was hard. That's why we couldn't find one to get on the show. But yeah, it's gonna be a fun game to watch. It's a Monday night game. It's a primetime game. I think this is truly a measuring stick for the Cowboys. I do.
Yes. Well, yes and no. I think that defense alone, because one thing, it is on the
Mhm,
road in New York. They're coming off of high
mhm.
win against a crappy
Yep.
team, like whatever the case may be. Now, honestly, they could
A
easily be
Super
0
Bowl.
too. They
Super
could be
Bowl
0
team.
very seriously right now. But I do like what their head coach is doing over there. I really,
Yeah.
really do like what their head coach is. He doesn't care. Him and the new GM are basically coming in there and saying, I don't care what your contract is. This is a new regime. My players are
Yeah.
going to play. If you're not, look at Galladay. Galladay's already crying and whining. There's drama already in New York because Galladay didn't get to play in any, and Tooney ain't playing, and Danny
Yeah.
Dimes can't save any. Like, you know what I mean? And that defense isn't world beaters either. Uh,
No.
just remember that
Which
the Tennessee Titans did not miss that extra kick point or the field goal at the end of the game, that easy field goal. That they're
yeah.
not 2-0. I mean, but
Yeah.
this, that, the other, but they could easily be 0-2. This is not a good
No.
football. All they have is Shake Barkley, and I think Parsons is going to have him under wraps. And I think our run defense is all right. It's not great.
It's
Not
okay. It's
bad.
probably the worst part. Yeah. Yeah. To me, that's the worst part of the defense when it comes to what they do. But I liked, like I said, when I saw from Armstrong, and his play, um, Tank was around the ball. Micah, of course, was being Micah. Sam Williams, my goodness, this guy right here, he progressively looks better and better from preseason to preseason game to first week to second week. He's around the ball. He's flying around the ball. Big guy with speed. I know you may have mentioned his name once and a half. You're on mute, which is great. But
Sorry.
but Sam Williams is balling. And I mean, they're like, he's not going to be Micah, but you don't need him to be.
Mm-mm.
You just need him to be Sam Williams. And that's more than enough. That's more than enough. So with him on the other side of Tank, Micah playing all over the place, that defense is, and this is why I keep saying again, and I keep saying it, this is a top 5 defense because on your back end, you have Diggs and you have Brown that are playing fantastic ball. And you still have a safety that can come in and still be all right. Even though Curse is down, you still got Bell. I still love this defense. Van Der Esch, what I saw this past weekend, I saw Van Der Esch moving to the ball like I hadn't seen him, do since his rookie season. Like he really played like a man possessed. Like I really saw him going after it, sticking his head in there, sticking his nose in there. It was really good to see him play like that. And yeah, I know he's on a 1-year contract, but man, they played lights out. Absolutely lights out. And I think the defense is what's going to carry them. They keep Saquon on the wraps. This should be a fun game to watch if you're a Cowboys fan.
Am I allowed to talk now?
Yeah, go.
Are you going to mute me?
You put yourself on mute.
Yeah, you're right. I did. Anyway, what's what I was going to talk. Anyway, yes, Sam Williams. I said I think he's going to be stepping up each week. I think Dan Quinn saw something in him to make him draft that early in the round. I do not doubt Dan Quinn and his defensive mind genius that he has. He saw what he had. He basically made that Legion of Boom, that defense in Seattle, what it is or what it was in the Super Bowl era days. You didn't mention Wilson, safety wise. Like we haven't even missed Curse. Like he's come in and made tackles all over the field, coming in from the blitzes. They're blitzing perfectly. Now, if we can just get that one guy that we signed, because he had one good half of the year. Who is that guy? We really haven't heard much from him. What is his name? Tank Lawrence?
Tank Lawrence, yeah.
Have you heard anything about him in 2 games?
No.
If he can all I'm saying is if he can step up and help Michael Parsons out, because I don't know if Michael Parsons can keep up with this. Michael Parsons has 1 gear and that's go. Like he's just like flying to the ball, flying.
Man, yeah. Yeah.
Which I love but it also gets you hurt too a little bit too. But it seems like he plays
smart. Yeah, it looked like he did kind of tweak something.
Yeah, it scared me for a little bit, but he stayed right in that game or whatever.
Yeah.
But Barr in the linebacking core, he had an all right game. He had 1 penalty that kind of killed it a little bit. Our secondary's looking pretty good. I mean, our secondary has nothing to worry about this week. I mean, I'm just be honest with Trayvon Diggs might have 2 interceptions.
Yeah.
I'm going out on a limb on this one.
Wow, that's your prediction. 2 interceptions.
Danny Dimes, he's going to turn the ball over 3 times. It's prime time.
Yeah, they're going to have to throw the ball.
Yeah. But
I think at some point they're going to have to throw it.
But just imagine this. Okay, we have 2 winnable games this next week. If we go 3-1 by the time we play the Rams, dude, that's a win. Like who had us going 3-2 after the Rams game? Like nobody.
Let me tell you something. And I watched the Rams games, both of them.
They're not good.
They're not. That's not the team. They went on a good run, a great run, a magical run. But they're not a dynasty. They're not a team that's going to just go back to back to back to back to back. I just don't see it because mainly they have Stat Padford.
Who leads the league in interceptions right now?
There you go. Which, there's another stat leader for him. He can win that award. So
I don't even know who their starting running back is.
I'm so surprised by that. I thought they had a starting running back from last year that was in the Super Bowl, but apparently they don't want to play him.
Nope.
So
Bay doesn't like him apparently.
It's petty. It's very petty. So I think when you look at that, and so if by the time we're talking Rams and what Jerry is saying, about Dak in his hand that he actually may be back.
Didn't Steven say might be back for the Commander game?
He mentioned that. There's no way. I can't see that. I can't see that he's back for the comic.
I heard the swelling's down. There's no he's progressing faster than people thought.
Oh my God! Was he Wolverine? Get out of here, man!
Dude, because there's no torn ligaments. There's no torn ligaments. All
right?
it was
Yeah, that's true. It was just a fracture.
Basically, it's just going to be the pain tolerance. Like, how long can you do the pain tolerance?
Yeah.
Me personally, depends on how you. This win, people don't understand that win Sunday kept Dak from rushing back.
It did.
That's what that did.
It did.
That's it. Took the pressure off us.
Did it? Because here's now, there's a few people that have said this. A few people have asked, do we really need Dak?
Yes.
Is Dak our quarterback of the future?
Yeah, unfortunately, right now, yes.
Should we, and you kind of mentioned it before we got on, should we be in team tank mode to look for a possible quarterback that we can get out of this year's draft? Because this year's draft class is a little bit better than last year's class.
Oh man, who do you have coming out of this draft? Oh, you have Bryce Young. Yeah. Heisman Trophy winner.
That's right. That's going to be reserved for the Jets, right? And those types of teams in Detroit. Right.
I don't think you tank. I think you sign Dak to a major deal. I think you got to let it play out. Jerry ain't about team tanking, whatever the case may be. I think you got to see how this year is going to play out. It's still early. It's 2 weeks. We don't what we saw this last year at the Dallas Cowboys, right? We saw them go 6-1. Then all of a sudden they look like everyone's like, oh, they might be a Super Bowl contender with this defense and the way Dak's throwing the ball and all this and that. And then we came back down to earth and we couldn't beat a 500 team besides the Eagles.
Because we ran the same plays. We were a situational play calling team. That's what we were. People knew what we were going to do.
And the same thing. Look at the Bengals. They look like they could barely making any. They look like okay, they might win a couple more games than they did the year before, and then all of a sudden they got hot and made it to the freaking Super Bowl. Look at the Pittsburgh Steelers. It's just so there's so many roller coasters in an NFL season. It's so long. Yeah. It's a marathon. You can't. And I've learned this the hard way. And that's why I was just cracking up watching that freaking. I hate to bring back this, but just watching that Eagle game and everyone in Philadelphia and the national media is like, oh my God, look at the Eagles. They look like the best team in the NFC. It's Minnesota. Right. Minnesota is not first off, they have a first-year head coach. They have a quarterback who cannot win in primetime games. That defense is still suspect at best. Whenever your best corner is Patrick. Is that his name, Patrick? No, Peterson.
Peterson. Oh, yeah.
Peterson. So let's pump the brakes a little bit. I mean, you barely beat the Lions by 3 points. Let's not say, and my God, Slay did not shut down Jamar. Kirk Cousins shut down Jefferson. Let's just be straight up honest with ourselves. But anyway, we'll talk about that in 3 weeks. But my point is, ladies and gentlemen, it's a long season. It's a week to week. I can totally see the Washington Commanders being the Philadelphia Eagles next week.
It's a long season.
I'm done.
You can see what?
I could see the Commanders being the Eagles next week. I'm not saying I'm picking them. I'm just saying I could see it.
Okay.
Who's leading the league in touchdown passes?
I don't see that.
Who's leading the league?
I see the top. Who's leading the league in touchdowns?
Passing.
It's Josh Allen, isn't it?
Passing. He's tied with somebody.
I mean,
dude, Washington can move that ball.
Who's he tied with?
Wentz.
Washington did move the ball. Wentz, okay. Yeah, okay. Yes, and now you see Dotson and you see, so yeah, they have a quarterback. Okay.
I'm not saying
can their defense stay healthy?
Well,
I mean, that to me, that's going to be a great game. That'll be a great game to watch. Because I think you have at least two of the three phases of the game that can kind of go either way, realistically. But it's going to come down to Maher and our coaching staff not being idiots and doing the right thing when they need to. So instead of going for a 50-yard field goal, make it 40, 35. Get a little bit closer. Use the clock correctly. Use your timeouts. And not have to kick the winning field goal with everyone rushing around in 3 seconds. And giving everyone heart attacks. That's not good. That's not good at all. Now I was having a heart attack too. But I think, yeah, coming out of, you have some really good quarterbacks that are coming out this year. Like I said, we mentioned Bryce Young. You got CJ Stroud out of Ohio State. A lot of people are big on Will Levis out of what is that? Who's that? Kentucky. Out of Kentucky. I mean, it's just there's some kids that they really, really like that are there. And so, Dak has to step up this year. Would that be a fair assessment?
Dak needs to step up, yeah.
I think Dak needs to step up. I think he needs to show a progression. He needs to show progression.
It's hard to say he needs to show progressions when he had 37 touchdown passes, stealing 10 picks, and almost led the league and all that. But I get it. I understand what you're saying because we watch Dak every week.
Yeah.
He just needs to stop pressing. He does. He just needs to let the game come to him. It's easier said than done, but it just feels like he's just hearing the noise and he just needs to tune it out. Basically, like I rewatched tape of that game one. He was making throws. I have not seen Dak Prescott throw. I've not seen him be so timid and like I just never seen that before of him. It's just hard. And then he had what really pissed me off is that he broke his thumb because I really want to see what he had done after a bad game, like a really, really bad game. Usually he performs pretty well out the week after. But now we're going to have to go through this all over again. He didn't play in the preseason. He only got 3 quarters in. Now he's hurt. He's going to be gone for 4 weeks, 4 to 6 weeks, 7, 8, whoever knows. Dr. Jerry, I don't know, whoever the case may be. They're all getting false reports. However long he's going to be out. He's still going to be rusty, and he's going to have to get timely with his receivers again. And you know what I mean? So he's going to have to step up, but he's got to have to let the game come to him and stop trying to do everything on his own.
So here's the question, Trey Collis. Answer this question, sir. You just mentioned, he could be back for the Commanders game, but more than likely he'll probably be back for the Rams game. If we are, let's say, 3-1, 4-1, around there, Cooper Rush is doing the job, and we talk about still being rusty. And yes, I know y'all still haters. I know you're still here. Thank you for being here, It Factory. Thank you so much. Do we continue with Cooper Rush or do we put Dak in?
I think it depends on what the Eagles are doing. I do. I think it
really?
Well, have you seen the freaking Eagles schedule? Good God. They don't play anybody this year.
I know it's easy. Hey, appreciate your salute, sir. Love what y'all do over there too at the It Factory, man.
The only tough game they have is at Green Bay. That's it. That's it.
So if we're still neck and neck with them, maybe they're a game up. We're tied. Usually we always split. It's very rare that anyone has swept the either team, do you stick with Cooper Rush? And I hear what you're saying. It depends on the Eagles, but you got to knock rust off. You do have a bye week in there, but Cooper Rush is handling the business and doing the thing. Do you keep him in or do you go back to Dak?
Honestly, I think it's. I think from the Tony Romo situation, when Tony Romo lost his starting job to Dak Prescott because of injury, I think you need to get Dak Prescott in there. I do. That's just me. No, I think it's all up to Dak. It is like you're gonna have to trust Dak. Like if he says he's fine to go, he's fine to go. Like you got to put him in there. It's because from here on out it's gonna be a pain tolerance thing. Like it said, it's basically already healed. It's just the how long you're gonna do the pain tolerance and stuff. I think you just got to trust Dak. And if he says he's ready to go, I mean, he's ready to go. I mean, I think that's what it has to come down to. But me personally, I think the Cowboys are going to be 3-2 after that Rams game. Going to Philadelphia.
3-2 after the Rams games. Going into Philly.
I think that's when he comes.
Okay. So who's your?
I think that's your starter.
And then you would start Dak.
I think Dak's back. Hell, I think it's 50-50 he plays against Commanders. He's definitely back against the Rams.
Wow. You think he's back against the Rams? Wow.
I do.
I don't know. And again, I don't know the extent of the injury other than the reports that we're getting, of course. And you can't trust leadership of this squad because they go back and forth and they'll tell you, oh yeah, they were, Tyron Smith was out there dancing, and next thing you know, he's out for the whole season or whatever the case may be. So, you can't trust them. But I think you have to go with the hot hand, pun intended. If Cooper Rush understands this offense better and can understand what's going on better, you keep him in. And Dak gets dacked when he dacked Romo, and Rush is dacking him. So, there it is. I think you have to do that. I think you would want to do that.
I just think you're paying Dak.
I
think you're just paying Dak Prescott $44 million a year. I think they're going to play him. It doesn't matter if they're the high end or not.
Yeah. Can Cooper Rush handle the Giants? I think he can.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Marv, I think he absolutely can. Yeah. Yeah, fam, I think he can. No problem. I don't think that's an issue. What are you going to say?
I would say, I'm not disregarding his injury or anything like that, but what I'm saying is like at least it was just the thumb where he can come back. You know what I mean? Where if it was like a more serious injury, like a sprained MCL or a hamstring or growing or something like that nature, then yes, you want to be precautionary and stuff because it's a $44 million quarterback, which I still don't think it's $44 million. That's neither here or there. But since it's just a thumb and all the doctors say it's just a pain tolerance thing, I just say go ahead and roll the dice with him.
I hear you. No ligament tears or anything like that. So my concern, of course, is that it's his throwing hand. And so anytime there's an injury to your throwing hand, arm, wrist, or anything like that, there should be caution, especially if we're talking $40 million a year guy, right? As opposed to a running back where you just run him to the ground and just say, oh, well, we'll get another one. But yeah, I just want to see, why can't it be the best QB? I agree. But the problem is that if it's the best QB, what are you paying this for? You're not going to pay for $40 million backup. You're just not going to do that. You'll figure out how to.
If you're the Giants, you will.
Well, that's the Giants.
I mean, they gave.
And we don't want to ever be.
I'm just saying they gave Galladay that big contract, and now he's sitting in the bench.
They did.
Going home.
Yeah, but there's some other people that have done stuff like that. But it's good to have a Cooper Rush, just like you have, just like the 49ers have Jimmy G, right? And everyone called for, oh, we need to get Jimmy G. We need to get Jimmy G. We need to get Jimmy G. And San Francisco played it smart.
They did
at this point because Trey Lance and the ankle, and he's done for the season. But I mean, yeah, 40 mil, 2 mil, it's his hand. But that's his throwing hand. And that's something that man, that's my concern. That's my concern there.
But if the doctors say that there's no way you can get because it's put 2 screws in there where it's protect the bone,
Mm-hmm.
and there's no way that
Right.
he's gonna re-injure it, I say go ahead. I mean, it's just a pain
There's no
tolerance.
way he can injure.
Well,
All
I'm
right.
just saying, like, there's not
Yeah.
a bigger risk of him injuring it.
Yeah. Well, and I also don't want him to be gun shy because I think he's already gun shy anyway. Like he doesn't.
But
Like on runs.
But couldn't this be a blessing in disguise? Though, like, okay, we saw Dak pressing. It's like, all right, let's put Cooper and maybe
Yeah.
do what Steve Young is saying. It's like, all right, let's see. This is what what receivers are doing. See it from the sidelines and stuff like that. Okay. This is what they're see it from a different angle than what you would, and just take a deep breath and be like, okay, here we go.
True. Well, I hope he does. I hope he does see it from an. I hope he slows down. He actually hands the ball off, and doesn't check out of every single run play or most of the run plays. I won't say all of them, but I mean when you're throwing 60 out of 80 plays, that's too much. You just can't have that. You have to have balance, and you have great running backs. And I like Pollard. I love the 2-back set. When you have that, put him in that situation. Real quickly, we just had a former Cowboy sign with the Bucks, Cole Beasley. What's your thoughts on that? I know it's Cowboy, show.
Y'all made fun of me. Y'all said, "Why are we being Cole? Why are we not?" Because the guy
Cole Beasley.
He had 78 catches in Buffalo. Yeah, he only had 1 touchdown, but he had over 700 yards at least. He's a veteran leader who can bring you depth to that wide receiver core. But it's neither here or there. I think Tom Brady's going to get great use of him. He's going to be another what's his name? Julian Edelman, Danny Amendola, one of those guys.
Yeah.
And
he loves those guys.
He's going to be a red zone threat, and Tom Brady's going to win the Super Bowl because of it. And the Cowboys like, ooh, we could have had him.
The sad part is you're not far off at all. He's had those guys, and they have done exactly that. So, yeah, man, I'm glad that he got signed. I just wish it would have been us. I think we definitely could have used him in our wide receiver room, because Tolbert at this point has been a disappointment. Up to this point, he's been a disappointment.
He hasn't even played.
You know why?
Well, if you ask Mike McCarthy,
because he's disappointment.
If you ask Mike McCarthy, it's because he kind of injured his hamstring a little bit, and in the moment he just needs to look at this like, what? I'm like, why don't you just cut him instead of Houston today? Like that was my thing. Like what? Like both these receivers are going to clear waivers. Like I was so pissed when I saw that Houston were freaking released. I'm like, oh please, no one signed him. Please, no one signed him. But thankfully, no one did, and he's back with the Cowboys in the practice squad. I would have done Tolbert, to be honest with you. Like I'm sorry, I would have.
Oh yeah, for sure. He's just not working out. I just don't see it. What do you mean not? What is this not, Marv? What are you talking about? You have to clarify in the chat. I don't know what you're talking about. Not. I hope you're not talking about Beasley. Cole Beasley would have been great here. Put him in the slot, and then and then CD can at least you can have Cole Beasley clear out the underneath, and now CD can actually have a safety over top covering him.
Well, right? And also he would help out, not in the blocking scheme, but with Schultz possibly being out for a couple weeks.
Oh,
he could have brought more pressure.
Goodness.
Yeah, but
you're
gonna see a lot more Ferguson. You're gonna see a lot more of your boy.
That's my guy. Let's go, Jake. Let's go. Hey, if anyone knows Jake Ferguson, let him know he is welcome here anytime. I love Jake Ferguson, man. Number 48. Let's go. That dude's a hoss. He's a hoss. He can catch. He can block. To me, he is this generation's new Jay Novacek. And that's a lot to put on someone. And I'm sorry, Jake, to do it, but Jay Novacek. Ultimate tight end for the Cowboys. Ultimate. Come in, do your job, go home. Absolutely love it. Speaking of, that brings us to Trey's favorite segment he hates to research.
Predictions.
Predictions. So, the Dallas Cowboys at the New York Gigantes Monday night. Who you got? And what's the score? I know who you got. What's the score?
I think the defense. I think it's going to be a defensive game. If we can contain Barkley a little bit in the run game situation, man, I'm picking Cowboys all day in this one. I'm feeling good. The only thing is, I hope the coaching situation just doesn't come like, oh, we can do this, we can do that, we can do this and the other. Just keep doing what you're doing. Let the defense do their thing. Cowboys should win this game pretty easily. Yeah. I have them 27-17.
Okay, we're pretty close. I've got the Cowboys 24-13. And then I think defense going to do their thing. I think you will have Saquon may get loose, but after that they'll kick field goals and that'll be the end of that. Cooper Rush, he's the guy. I'm telling you, he's the dude right now.
You know what I like about Cooper Rush before we move on? He shows no emotion. Like nothing, like he doesn't show emotion.
He doesn't get rattled. Yeah.
Like he doesn't get rattled. The moment's not too big. He doesn't get excited. He doesn't he looks like an accountant.
Mm-hmm.
Like he does. He just looks like, okay, cool. Like the moment's not too big for him and stuff. So Cooper Rush,
like Romo. Romo was like that.
Okay, they announced the Hall of Fame semifinalist today. Romo was not on that list.
Yeah.
Why?
As well, he should not be. As well, he is not a first ballot.
Oh,
don't do that. Don't come in here like that. He is not a first ballot. He is not a first ballot, Trey. He is not a first ballot.
Harrison is? Harrison is?
I absolutely think he is.
I'm
upset that people don't think he is.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Oh, but the punter is? That punter is?
I don't care about no punter.
He's a
punter should have their own wing. Punters should have their own wing.
It's the first ballot right there.
Punters should have their own wing. Okay, they should have their own. If you punted, okay, cool. You're on the squad, whatever. But come on, you don't wear pads.
Cam Chancellor, first ballot.
That's a push.
No.
That's a push.
No.
But
I'm not saying Tony Romo should have got in. I'm not saying Tony Romo should have got in. I'm just saying he should have been a semifinalist. That's all I'm saying.
No.
He has one of the best completion percentages in the NFL history. Whatever.
Oh my God.
Just because he doesn't have the I just want
to. And the interceptions? You want to talk about the interceptions? You want to talk about those?
Turn his team on his back. We're not.
Do you want to talk about the interceptions?
I don't want to. Dude, we'll be here for another hour.
Do you want to talk about the interceptions now?
Okay, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this.
Yeah, sure.
Let me ask you this.
Sure.
Would you rather have Tony Romo or Dak Prescott right now? If we had Tony Romo right now, what would be worried with this defense and this running game that we have?
If we're talking about within their career, I would give a slight edge to Dak Prescott.
Oh, my God. We're in the show right there. Everyone have a good night.
Wait, we got to dude, you take Dak. Are you kidding me?
Bye.
Are you kidding me? Listen. Dude, Dak Prescott is not going to lose you the game with an interception.
Oh,
he won't. Now he'll short hop it. He'll overthrow, or he just won't throw it. He won't lose it with an interception.
14 seconds left. He'll just run the ball with 14 seconds left and not let us have another shot. No.
Okay.
That's cool.
But at least they don't have a shot to score, which is what would happen with Romo.
Romo had to throw because he didn't have a running back. And when he did have a running back, look what they did. They got a 13-3 record. Don't give me this crap. Tony Romo did not have the weapon.
What did they do in the playoffs? What did they do in the playoffs, Trey?
What has Dak Prescott done in the playoffs?
See, no, we're talking about Tony Romo. What did he do? What did he do? What did he do, Trey? You know what he did.
What was it for Patrick Creighton dropping the ball in the end zone? They'd probably beat the Giants and now won there. And if it wasn't, and if Des Bryant, if they would have called that a catch, which would be a catch today, they would probably beat the Green Bay Packers. I'm just saying.
There's a lot of ifs and ifs and ifs. Look,
anything we do with Dak. If this, if that, if
Dak gives you a better chance to win because the very next year when playing the same team in Green Bay, and yes, they got down 31-3, Dak gave us the chance to win. He did. And Aaron douche Rodgers, right, was douche. Okay. He stepped up. But he is not right, fam. Dak all day. Romo is in Hall of Fame, bro. What you say?
Oh my God. Y'all are I love y'all, but
hey,
oh my God.
Who's your legend of the star? I'm not gonna let you out of here on that.
It's Tony Romo. It's Tony Romo now.
It's Tony Romo. Tony Romo.
You know what? You know what? We're gonna start this. No, I'm gonna bring out stat. Man, whatever. Next show.
Bring him out.
Get prepared, please. Get prepared because oh my God. Oh, this is ridiculous. People forget what Tony Romo did for this franchise. It wasn't for Tony Romo.
Oh my.
Anyway, I'm going with Jim Jeffcoat this week, buddy. How about that for you? Late 80s, early 90s. Got a couple of double-digit sacks, over a lot of tackles. I can't remember the stats in my head.
There you go.
But people forget about Jeffcoat, and he was one of the best defensive linemen there ever was. So there you go.
I agree. And I actually am going, and I don't remember this. I know I didn't say this, but this is kind of what started it all for us was Bill Bates. Bill Bates was the guy that was like, hey, I was a fan favorite. I was doing this thing. He was just a guy that played ball, but he did it. He did it well. Trey Collis on the sidelines again this week, right? For the Antlers.
Yeah, no, actually, I might not be on the sidelines. I actually might be calling the game on the radio, but I might be in the press box. Real quick story about that last week. Okay. No, this is funny because we got time. Actually, we don't. We're already over time, but who cares?
We're over. Yeah.
I got done doing the halftime report, right? Everything. I put the micro because we're using my microphone for the crowd noise because we're on the opposite sidelines or where our press box was. So, and then I get done. I put the mic down. I look up. 2 drops of water hit the back of my neck. I'm like, who the hell is spitting on me? Like, I didn't piss off someone already, did I? So, and then I look up, it's freaking pouring down rain. I look at the radar, look at the whole state of Texas, no rain. One little cell over that stadium lasted 30 minutes, dude. It was coming down. I was like, what the hell? There was nothing in the state of Texas but that one little spot. Yeah. It was like, what the hell? But yeah, I'll be probably calling the game against number 6 or number 3 ranked team, Liberty Hill. It's going to be a tough one. But yeah.
Sounds great, man. Texas football is alive and well and kicking it. Thank you for the likes and the loves. Every Wednesday, 8 p.m., we are here talking Cowboys on Cowboys Cutting Up. That's Trey Collis. I am Jay Stogs. Hey, love you. Stay there. Monday night, let's go Cowboys. Let's get it.